Hi everyone, it is the beginning of week 4. Happy Monday. Can you believe that you have been doing this for almost, 4 weeks? You're going to the end of your 30 days, your first 30 days, and so already you have made such big changes. I'm so proud of all of all of your commitment and just the way that you are speaking differently and thinking differently about your food choices and really making this a priority. And that's what it's all about. So, as we are coming to the end of our first 30 days, next Saturday, you will be taking your measurements. You'll be taking your weight and you will be taking your measurements to see your progress so far. So, some of us are going to step on the scale and we are going to see a lot of changes. We are going to see a change in our weight. We are going to see a change in our measurements. We're going to see progress. Some of us may not. Some of us may not see the scale move, or maybe we just don't see that it has moved to where we want it to, So, if that happens, here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to get discouraged. I want you to step back and I want you to think to yourself, okay, what have I done in the last 30 days? Have I given it 100%? Look at your meal plans. Is there something that you could change? If you're really thinking that you've given it 100%, you've changed everything about your eating, you're giving your workouts, everything that you've got, you're really making it a priority and you just don't understand what's happening, I want you to definitely, without hesitation, reach out to me and let's, schedule a phone call or, face-to-face, whatever we need to do to make sure that you are on track. Because what happens is if we don't see the results that we want, a lot of times we'll think, okay, forget it, and we'll give up, and we'll be right back to where we started, and that is not what you want, and that's not what I want for you. So, that being said, that's coming up. This week in your workouts, I want you to give it your all. I want you to go all out. I want you to think about, when you're working out, could you push a little more? Could you do another rep? Could you increase your weights? Are you lifting enough? Are you not? If you're, with your 21-day fix, or if you're doing T25 or P90X3, whatever it may be, do you need to increase your weight? Do you need to push it a little bit more? Are you stopping before you maybe could? So anyway, I want you to think about that. In addition, I have a few tips for you that I think are really going to help you to really amp things up and to stay on track, and just some things that I know are little changes that we can make that really make a difference. So number one, when I make my meal plans, I really stick to a few key things. I have like a running list of recipes and I rotate through them because I don't really mind, to be repetitive because it works for me. I know meals that are healthy for me. I know my go-to eat clean recipes and I know that they work. So I kind of just rotate them. And I'll maybe change up a thing or two, but that works for me. I don't really get sick of it, and I know that it works. So if you're someone that doesn't mind routine and doesn't mind a little bit of monotony, really do that, because then I think you'll really know your nutrition and you'll know what you're putting into your body. And then once you get comfortable with that, you're really got a handle on this eating clean thing and your portion control, then start to, experiment with a few different recipes. Okay, tip number 2. Make sure you're eating breakfast. So I know that I replace my breakfast with Shakeology. It's what works for me because my mornings are busy, and to be honest, it's what gets me a lot of times through my workout, because I know at the end of my workout I can have my Shakeology and it keeps me motivated. So the other thing you want to consider, if you are eating breakfast, make sure you're eating, you all should be eating breakfast, but make sure that when you're eating your breakfast, you're eating within an hour of waking up, because otherwise your body just kind of goes into starvation mode because it's ready to jumpstart the day. You're already doing things to burn energy and you're sort of running on empty. You don't want that. So eat breakfast and make sure you're eating it within an hour of waking up. Number 3, the secret sauce: water, water, and more water. If I haven't said it already, I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to say it a million times more. Water is the secret sauce. If you are finding that you're bloated, if you're finding you're retaining water for whatever reason, if you get on the scale and you don't see it moving, I can tell you that when I increase my water intake, my weight drops. I feel better, my skin looks better, I'm breathing more clearly. I'm telling you, it's the secret sauce. So the best thing to do to calculate how much water you should be drinking in a day is take your weight, divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces of water you should be drinking in a day. So if you weigh, 120 pounds, divided by 2, 60, you're drinking at least 60 ounces of water a day. That's nothing. For me, what I do is I fill up my Shakeology cup. It's 25 ounces. I make sure I drink that first thing in the morning when I work out. The end of my workout, if it's not finished, I pound it. 25 ounces down. It's a good start to the day. That's what works for me. Other people, get the really big bottles of water and they drink one of those, and those are like, 50 ounces, and they're already more than halfway, if not 3/4 of the way done with their water intake for the day. So find a container that works for you. Find a way to keep track of your water, whether it's setting your alarm on your phone or, some people put like these little hair ties around their water bottle, and every time they drink one, they take it off or they put it on, whatever works for you, but drink your water. All right, tip number 4, make sure you're eating small meals and you're eating them often. Every 2 to 3 hours, eating, not a huge, Hungry Man special from Perkins. You want to eat small meals like we've talked about. Number 5, make sure you're sticking to that clean diet, those whole foods, those low-density foods, those foods that are high in fiber, real foods, unprocessed, brown rice, chicken, broccoli, all those things that really fuel your body, and they'll really fill you up for less calories. Tip number 6, indulge wisely. I said indulge. I want you to indulge. I want you to think about that one thing that really is, your treat. Don't deprive yourself of it, because you're going to end up getting so frustrated and going and binging on whatever it is. For me, it's usually ice cream. So I tend to, I'll schedule it into my diet. I want you to schedule it in. When are you going to have it? Because if you make that schedule and you allow it for yourself, you're not going to, rebel and break the rules and go and have it when you and have too much of it. So that's what works for me. So again, indulge wisely, schedule your indulgement. You might find too that now that you're eating clean, some of those things that we indulge in don't really work well with our body anymore. Our body has to, work really hard to process them, and it just feels gross. So you might stray away from them anyway. So another thing you want to think about is, if you have foods that you know that you're going to overeat, try not to keep them in your house. This doesn't always work because there are other people in your home, and they may like certain things. For me, my husband tends to like, maybe some things that aren't so healthy for him. So I'm not going to make him miserable, and, even though I don't condone it, I'm not going to tell him what he can and can't have in my cabinets, but those things are off limits for me. But there are some things that I know I cannot have in my house, even though they're healthy. 1, peanut butter. 2, cashews. If I have peanut butter in my house, I will go and spoon it out, and I'll walk around with a spoon, eating peanut butter off the spoon, and I'll lose count. Can't happen. Cashews. I will sit with an entire container of cashews, or keep going back to the cabinet, taking a handful, taking a handful, taking a handful. A serving of cashews is 12 cashews. That's it. Not happening. So I can't have them in my house. So think about that. Finally, final tip, and I know I've talked about this before. Close the kitchen after dinner. If you know you're going to have a snack after dinner, schedule that into your meal plan. But then once that's done, it's done. Close your kitchen. Go brush your teeth. Make yourself a cup of tea. Whatever it is. Play a game. Watch TV. Sit down on the couch. Play with your kids. Just don't go back into the kitchen, because you're probably not going to make great choices late at night. And the later at night you eat, the worse it is for your body, because it's not going to burn it off. Okay, so those are just some tips to get you through the week. It is go time. We are, as I said, approaching our weigh-in moment of truth. So really give this week your all. Look at your meal plans. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me personally, directly. You can, message me on Facebook. You can ask me to set up a phone call. That's fine. I'm available. Or, reach out to the people in your group. So your assignment for this week, approaching our 30 days, I want you to write down your 30-day goal, and I want you to post it in the group. In addition to what your 30-day goal is, I want you to write down what your reward is going to be for getting through these first 30 days, because it's huge. You got through 30 days. So how are you going to reward yourself? Don't make it food. Don't make it eating out. Think about some way to reward yourself, to treat yourself. Whether for me, it's, maybe a new pair of workout clothes or a manicure or a new scarf. So think about something that's not food related and something that you are going to reward yourself for such a job well done. Stick to it. You guys are doing great, and I know you're going to be successful. Keep up the good work.